Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The lights of the studio gleamed brightly on the morning of the broadcast. In the familiar hues of dawn blue and chromium, the studios of Good Morning Britain were girded for another high-stakes political showdown. But what began as a routine interview turned into a tempest. At its centre, two figures locked horns. Former Labour Minister turned presenter Ed Balls and Policy Chief of Reform UK Yusuf. From the moment Yusuf's face filled the screen via video link, the air crackled. Balls leaned forward, his brows drawn tight. The topic, a dramatic shift in immigration and tax pledges by Reform UK. Yusuf was prepared, polished, confident, but perhaps not prepared for the ferocity that greeted him. So if you came here in the 1970s as an Asian person fleeing Uganda, living decades, yet you're on a low income with indefinite leave to remain, under your policy, you'd now be asked to leave. Balls fired. The room held its breath. Yusuf responded calmly, no, because you'd have a pathway to citizenship. But Balls cut him off. The tone sharpened. You said you were going to deport illegal immigrants, but these people came here legally. How many will you deport in the first parliament under a reform government in order to make these savings you claim? A tangle of policy, historical nuance, and rhetorical blows ensued. Yusuf spoke of 3.8 million non-EU migrants and the cost to taxpayers. Balls retorted, but what about those who came via special routes from Hong Kong? The circus of politics hit fever pitch. As viewers watched at home, comment sections erupted. Some condemned Balls. How aggressive! How biased! Others claimed Yusuf danced around direct answers. One X, formerly Twitter, user wrote, Balls should not be presenting this program. Absolutely shocking. Another fumed, Ed Balls is a biased, pro-Labour embarrassment to broadcasting. Yet for all the fury, something more subtle was at work. The collision of two worlds. Balls embodied the traditional hallways of Westminster, the safe corridors of party politics, now in a presenter's chair. Yusuf represented insurgent energy, a party on the rise, seeking to upend the script. Their duel was less a debate, more a storm overhead. In the studio, co-host Susanna Reid tried to mediate, but the flash flood of tension overshot her lifeline. She asked, "So you did promise that threshold for paying tax, and now you're saying younger people on minimum wage are being paid too much?" Yusuf's answer that promises are easy, delivery hard when finances are wrecked by previous governments, met with disbelief. By the end, the studio felt charged. Balls' face showed clenched determination. Yusuf's even tone barely concealed the steel. And the audience? Divided. Was this rigorous journalism or a brewing bias? Some felt the interviewer had crossed the line, others that the guest had ducked responsibility. As the cameras cut, the hashtags began. Hashtag GMB, hashtag Ed Balls, hashtag Zia Yusuf trended. Headlines thundered, outrage, acting for his wife, should not be presenting. And for a moment, broadcasting felt like a battlefield. Behind the scenes, executives likely took notes. Viewers would remember not just the policy squabble, but the tone, the clash of identities, the spectacle. For Ed Balls, once MP, once Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, this morning unearthed new ground, presenter, interrogator, polarizer. For Zia Yusuf, it was a chance to assert a new political face, even if the terrain was unforgiving. In the end, the show signed off with smiles and pleasantries, but the headlines lingered. Was this a healthy exchange of ideas, or the kind of televised ambush that leaves viewers cynical? The answer depends on your seat, viewer, presenter, or guest. What is certain, this clash will be replayed, remembered, dissected. Welcome to morning television at its most combustible.